We haven't had any coffee, breakfast, or anything yet. That's what we're here for. We just saw a bear cub over there on that far shore. Good morning, day 3. Got up early and getting things packed. Gonna head off into the Cross Lake, a short paddle, and 200 rod portage into Knife Lake. And we haven't had any coffee, breakfast, or anything yet. Just drink some water, some fluids in us, and hopefully we'll be able to get over there in decent time. But the bugs are horrendous this morning. Supposed to be getting rain in the next 2 to 3 days, so I have a feeling that the weather has something to do with it. But just about ready to head out. Got our first crew headed out across. See you in a bit. You don't have our campsite yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, right.
All right, our word for today is proprioceptors. It is when your body adjusts to uneven terrain. So if you've ever done any trail running, true trail running, the trail is uneven from one stride to the next, but your body is picking up and using those proprioceptors to make those minute adjustments. And it's very reminiscent of what we're dealing with in this portage trail. Well, we're almost done with this 200 rod portage. It has been a death march, but we're getting there. We've just been double carrying and leapfrogging gear, but we'll definitely be ready for a coffee. The bugs down here are I think bigger mosquitoes than they were at the last campsite, but we're almost there. We'll be back on the water in no time. Must have coffee. Energy is depleting to critical levels. Whoever worked on that trail, thank you. Very well made. We made it. Finally, victory is ours. Welcome to Knife Lake. Beautiful. Oh, that tastes good. All right. Well, at least we got the longest portage of the trip behind us. About 8:15 on Friday, right?
What's that?
Friday, isn't it?
Today?
Yeah.
We traveled Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yep, today's Friday.
Okay. Lost all sense of time. Days of the week.
Well, let me look at my Apple Watch.
Right.
No, it's kind of
Yep. Fucking fishing poles.
just break them off.
One fishing pole next year, that's it. I say that every year and I end up bringing two every year.
As soon as you do that, you know what's going to happen.
I know. I'll just whittle out a cane pole and use it that way.
You say you had some sites kind of eyeball that you thought would be good?
Well, I think, is that the site over there? I think there's one on this point, but then there's like 4, 5, 6 of them all along that shore. A couple of them on that, well, yeah, because actually, technically what we see there is the Canadian wilderness.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Canadian.
Huh.
This is the US. I think there's 2 campsites right on the border on an island right up here. It's right on, probably has a marker on the island actually.
Watch it. It's going to fall straight down. Excuse you. What are those white ones? Are those poplars? The front one looks dead as shit. The back one maybe. Damn near there.
Big tall one?
Yeah.
That looks like a... Oh, that's a walleye, yep.
That is a big walleye.
Want me to grab him?
I'll bring him to you if you can grab him. Unless you want me to grab him.
It's easier for you to get him. Nice. That's what we're here for. Troy caught his first walleye of the trip. They're just holed up on an island over here. He's back behind me cleaning it. But the wind has picked up. It's getting to be a little choppy across the lake here on Knife. But we at least got one on the board, and well, at least have some for dinner. We made good time getting into Knife this morning. Found a nice campsite, got set up, had a little breakfast, finally got some coffee in us, and are just going to enjoy the rest of the day out here on Knife Lake. And as you can see behind me is the Quantico Provincial Park in the Canadian wilderness. And then out in front of me here is the boundary waters of the Superior National Forest. So we're kind of riding the border up along here for the next couple days, and hopefully we catch a lot more walleye, maybe some lake trout would be nice.
Where am I throwing? Right there for now.
Yeah. Be nice if I caught one here, just sitting here flicking the jig out off this point. Kind of tucked in here behind the wind. Water is just crystal clear out here. It's amazing. Probably can see down 10-12 feet once you get out there, if not further.
You want cheeks or eyes or anything out of this thing?
Did you save the wings?
Can.
The walleye wings?
That's the right in the middle brisket, right?
Yeah, it's just those.
Right here.
Yep. Big enough for cheeks?
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Might be the only walleye we get this trip. Somehow I doubt it. Hopefully they got into a mess of them too. Alright, so let's do a little recap of what we've done so far. So we started out at entry point 25 on Moose Lake and made our way a couple miles into Newfound Lake and followed the shoreline here through Horse Island, and then hugged this corner through here on this first portage into Splash Lake, it looks like. We had a couple small portages through here, and then we got into Ensign and tried fishing along through here through these narrows. Didn't have any luck, but Ensign is a long lake, a lot of campsite choices. Originally our plan was to stay in this area, but after talking with the outfitter, we ended up coming back up through here, through this little cove, and then we had this 180 rod portage into Vera Lake, and then found this campsite where we stayed the first 2 nights. And we took a day trip through here on Trader Lake, and then found an old trail that went in through Negligee. Heard that this was pretty good for some trout in here. There's a lot of minnows in there, but we never found any. Never got into them there. So hot the day we came back, we considered actually going back and packing up and then coming into Knife, but that's where we opted to stay at that second night, last night actually, and then got up this morning about 5 o'clock and then headed into this 200 rod portage into Knife. And we believe that this is Isle of Pines, where Dorothy Moulter had once lived, the last legal resident in the Boundary Waters. And we ended up on a campsite, I believe it's in this one right here. And then today we have been fishing. One crew went this way, the other crew went this way, came back. But the good thing is we do have walleye to cook for tonight.
For the camera, we could just do a one-hander.
There you go. Ended up having a really good day. Crew did a great job. We got up early, hiked in that 200 rod portage, and got in here really early, about 8:30 I think, and was able to do some fishing. We found a great campsite, got everything all set up, and then we headed out back in about 2-3 hours fishing. Net result is we ended up getting a couple of walleye and a northern. I have yet to get a fish yet, but we got all day tomorrow. We brought those fish back, fried them up, had a great dinner. Prepared in our favorite way of just doing walleye fish tacos with scrambled eggs and some good sauce on it. Sun just set here a little bit ago. We ended up kind of button down the hatches because there's a chance of rain. We knew in the forecast before we came out here, but as soon as we hit Knife Lake, we have no reception up here, so we can't even check the weather, which is okay. But we're all prepared. We have a tarp set up if we need to throw things underneath there, but we're just going to chill by the fire a little bit later tonight and enjoy the rest of the evening.